So welcome to Cosmic Reid Live. Just full disclosure, our Wi-Fi, like right as the show was going, bam, decided just to kick out. And I'm like, well, what do I do? And so I'm trying to connect to a different network. It wasn't working. Mega apologies. And thank you, sir. I'm assuming you kept the show on the air here.
I wouldn't so much call it a show as I just kept it. I guess I kept it going, but thank you so much. Yes. Happy Monday to you, buddy.
You too. Welcome, Drew, Michael. Everyone listening in the chat now. This is awesome. Cheers, my friend.
By the way,
this is the drink of.
Cheers. Can I just tell you that our delightfully funny people in the chat, I believe it was Drew and I think even Michael, our Disney fan, was like, okay, you guys are doing this as a joke, right? As if they gave us, my heavens, what do you have there?
Oh, this is the Nautilus. I got some from Trader Sam's with the Mickey straw.
Every week with you, man. How did you get that back to Canada? In your carry-on?
Very carefully in a suitcase. No, a suitcase, like padded with t-shirts.
Okay, say the important stuff because we will definitely forget this if you're drinking something of that nature. There's some important stuff we got to get to, everyone in the chat room, and then we'll go. I hope everybody's doing. This is, by the way, what 3 weeks of stay-at-home order does to the two of us. So we're getting nowhere quick.
I pulled out the biggest cup, the biggest tray. I'm sure people in the chat must have this Trader Sam's collection. That's the Nautilus, the first edition. I love this one, my favorite. And you know what? Like, I have a Pepsi or something in here right now. It only takes up like half an inch of the entire space. So you can imagine how much they pack it. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Sure.
So on the show today, we want to talk a little bit about the Disney execs cutting their salaries and what that means. A little scared, or like what are the thoughts? We want to cover what you dome Disney-wise. Maybe you have a Nautilus with a Mickey straw that you want to,
show off.
Want to take a drink, show off. How do you bring Disney into your lives? So we want to cover that.
Know the way people bring Disney into their lives. That's a good one.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that. We will also do the this or that. This week was if you could bring one back, Horizons or the Great Movie Ride, and that poll is on Twitter at Cosmic Reid. You can check on that one. It was close all day, but one is now pulling out in front of the other. And just also want to remind people, thank you for joining the chat. We will interact with you all as we can here. Love the Epcot shirt. Thank you so much. This is one of my favorites as well. You can always super chat as well right here on YouTube. We'd love to get a donation from you as well. All of our hardworking staff would totally appreciate it. Also hit up the Patreon page as well at WDWNT.com and support us, become a WIGS member, all that kind of good stuff. You get exclusive access to lots of great features on WDW News Today. Now, with all that being said, Jeff, do you want to first talk about this budget? Not the budget cuts, the salary cuts.
So these things were, I was hearing rumors about this all weekend, and it's, basically, I knew executives were going to kind of step up. And I mean, it's one of those things, right? I mean, like, I'm doing what I can. I'm sure everyone is doing what they can around here. Like, to me, it's those small businesses that are going to be hurting. But I mean, Disney, they have put up so much money, and they've got to be getting a little bit concerned here. But the fact that Bob Iger gave up his entire salary is, I mean, that was something I didn't expect. I thought that executives, I know, like even the airline companies are doing some similar things. Meanwhile, David Geffen is posting photos on his Instagram from his like $7 billion yacht or whatever it is. But Bob Iger giving up his salary, I think, is something special. What does that, however, mean to the cast members? That's what I have not heard, because I was told that they were being taken care of for at least another couple of weeks. But I also think that when that was talked about, that everybody thought things would maybe not be normal, but some semblance of normalcy would be there. So Bob Iger, I mean, he's made quite a couple of $1 million. So I think he could probably hand it. Jumbo to you, Adam. But I mean, the other executives stepping up, I mean, that's kind of fantastic too. But I mean, what about the other cast members? I'm not sure if you've heard anything or even what you think about the whole thing as it is.
Yeah, it's crazy and it's telling. And you know, there's a couple of ways you look at it. You go, well, okay, so is the company financially hurting, or is it that, well, we're trying to look good? Maybe we'll just do this for, you know, a little while, and that's the flip side. Like, are they doing it just to be like, well, we'll do this because now we're taking care of everyone, and maybe that's why they're doing it. But behind the scenes, is it like, are they like, because they're losing millions every day with everything that they're, you know, with the stores and the theme parks and everything, right? Like the movies, all of this stuff.
I had heard some staggering person, and it's like, oh, look at this, Drew's. I've got hashtag breaking news right here, and Doug, between you and I actually would get to your comment in a second, but Drew is saying June 1st is the first time you can make reservations at Walt Disney World now. His girlfriend was told the last day for a paycheck will be April 18th, so that's making the Iger thing not sound quite as appealing. You kind of hope they would extend that a little bit. I mean, I have no say in that, of course, but Doug up in the chat earlier is mentioning something along the lines of, you know, PR stunt, is it? And I get that. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I mean, people are hurting left and right. I had just seen Macy's, which has a huge presence down here in Atlanta, is furloughing 125,000 people. I mean, you're definitely going to be 2 to 3 degrees of Kevin Bacon away from someone who is very seriously impacted by what's going on right now, unfortunately.
Yep. Totally. Yeah, I know. And you know what? It's happening up here in Canada as well. Air Canada just lost, was it 15,000 people? They just laid off 15,000 people, which is absolutely huge, especially for the travel industry up here going down there. So we'll see where that goes, man. I don't know. This is all just you know, 3 weeks ago, not much has changed, and if it has changed, it's got worse.
I think that because we kind of did a soft launch for this. Thank you, everybody. Adam, Doug, Drew, Michael. I believe all three of you were here 3 weeks ago, if not definitely 2 weeks ago, where we kind of like soft launched this thing. And I mean, it still seemed sort of surreal. Yeah. I can't tell if it seems more surreal now or what. I don't even know. I mean, I'm just trying to get in the shower before 2:00 every day, right? I mean, just to have some type of semblance of normalcy. I mean, you know, and it's just like Drew just said, it just doesn't seem like there's an end in sight. Though June 1st, you know, that's something. But as we were chatting offline, looks like Governor of Virginia says June 7th, everything will be stay at home until June 7th. And if any of you know how to cut hair at that point me in the direction. I'm going to be looking like some type of caveman from Geico before all said and done here. But I mean, look, to circle back around, look, I sillily was a communications major, where I am a communications major, I suppose, for better or for worse, which basically means that nothing really is what it means. I'm one step away from having Comcast shut off my internet anyways. But I am not someone that can even fathom what it's like to be in that upper echelon of CEO. So I would like to, you know, my mom who passed, right? Like she would always want to see the good in other people. So while I can see where it comes from, you know, a PR stunt, you have to at least, you know, think that for all the years he's been there, you know, he cares enough about the company to do something, and hopefully that is trickled down economics to the cast members, because I can't imagine what they're going to be doing in a couple weeks.
Well, we'll keep a close eye on this situation. It just broke, so lots more to come out of it, I believe. And then stay tuned to WDW News Today. All throughout the week, day and night, we'll give you the latest on what is happening with the Disney park execs. And it wasn't just Iger and Chapek. It was like the V's, all the executive VPs, associate VPs. They all took a 20 to 30% salary cut as well. So it's telling, or maybe it's a PR stunt. That was the first thing that went through my mind. It probably, I mean, I'm sure it doesn't hurt them, that much. Yeah, and yeah, Doug's saying the same thing as well. Just looking at the YouTube chat. Oh, Adam.
Oh,
yeah.
Man, Doug's in New Orleans. Man, I heard crazy things about New Orleans. Wowzers.
Yeah.
Let me just at least say one thing, just to bring it to Disney and the happiness. And I actually would love to know, because I actually saw this on our beautiful page on the news today about the Stitch attraction, and I was both saddened but excited. Don't you think they should be able to fix finish the Tron coaster in about 3 weeks with no one in the parks? I mean, I want all these things like going faster, but the breaking news that I had not heard. I mean, it had been rumored for forever, and Drew will be like, I already knew that. That's fine. But that Stitch is finally going away, and that rumored Wreck-It Ralph attraction might be coming to Magic Kingdom. Thoughts?
Yeah. It's a funny place to put that kind of attraction in Tomorrowland. Right? I mean, I the video games, and I kind of get it. I would prefer to see something like Wall-E go in there. The hashtag show me your Wall-E ears. But something like that. Yeah, I'd rather something. Oh, Jeff's off. Hang on.
I'm at least getting this. This is
What do you?
I don't know why he's not here all the time. I mean, I actually should just sit like this. This should be the whole song. Man, the cat has destroyed this thing. I agree with you. A Wall-E attraction would be absolutely amazing, and I totally think it would go there. Hollywood Studios, for me, is where Wreck-It Ralph probably belongs.
Totally. Yep. Yeah. Even when they put him in Epcot there, the character spot around that area, I just didn't understand that. And Studios seems like a nice place, as long as they don't turn the Tower of Terror into some sort of like big Candy Crush fall thing, like they butchered the Tower of Terror in Disneyland.
I was going to completely ask you about that, and if anybody has had the opportunity to ride that, this could be blasphemy. We could get many thumbs downs for this, but I cannot stand that the Disneyland Tower is now not Tower of Terror anymore. Because much like when you talk about the differences between Haunted Mansion and Disneyland and Walt Disney World, and they are subtle at best, there were differences in the Disneyland and Walt Disney World Tower, and I loved riding them both for different reasons. So I hated that redo.
Same. It's terrible. When we were there in January in Disneyland, it actually, the very top of it looks like the old Tomorrowland. Remember, like the big neon one with the flashy light? It looks like they took it, transported it, and put it on top of what was the Tower of Terror over there. It looks like a piece that, I mean, I'm sure it's not, but it certainly has that shape, and I just kept seeing that. Maybe just wanted to see that in it, but that
is really interesting to me. I've never actually said that. Yeah, and you really get to see the facade, and then that's another thing with the Disneyland thing. Even if you were seeing the facade from the back when you were, Disneyland is just so bizarre, and I'm sure Walt, if he could have had it all back, it's just when you're in Florida, man, you are like whisked away. Like, I actually don't even really want to be on my phone, right? When I'm in Disneyland, I mean, it's really, really cool if you can mentally get in the right place and understand that Walt walked down Main Street, and you are able to do the same thing. Like that type of methodology is there. However, I can go get a breakfast slam at Denny's, look across the street, and there's the facade of the Tower of Terror. You know what I mean? Which sort of like takes you out of it a little bit, but it still made more sense to me when I saw the facade of the Tower of Terror than whatever this Guardians of the Galaxy thing is from the road. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Mission Breakout. Yeah. It's bizarre, man.
And people are really giving some love. Adam,
but we want to know your thoughts as well. Yeah. Oh yeah, people I mean, if people will riot if Tower of Terror has ever gone out of Hollywood studios, and I will be there in the charge on that. We'll both be there. Let's just check in on the chat here on YouTube. Adam, music at WDWNT.com should work. We'll get that looked into, okay? And I'm glad you caught the music show. Yeah. So if you're just joining us this week for the first time, welcome. It's working. I'm Cosmic Chris Reid. Jeff Melkar is with me as well. Every week we talk about Disney. Some of your favorite things in Disney, your favorite memories. It's all we have right now is the memories, not new ones go now because of the park closure. So chat with us. We check the YouTube chat as much as we can here, and also you can donate to the Patreon for WDW News Today, and also the super chat as well in YouTube. We always make sure we get those comments as well. We're just happy to have you join every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern here, and the show is also replayed in part on Fridays on WDWNT, the radio station for WDW News Today, and that happens on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. I have a curated playlist based on what you want to hear, and then there's 2 or 3 minute clips from this show in there. And Adam asking, can you play a version of the music with Melanie and the Bride's vote? Oh, from Phantom Manor. Yeah, I should be able to get that one on for you this Friday. But send me an email too. I'll make sure that works. I don't know what happened there.
So I love that Pat is talking about, because I can literally see this happening, even though I don't know what Pat looks like. Pat MC75 will chain myself to the tower if they plan to change it. And I have a feeling you might have everyone in this room. That would make a wonderful social media story, Pat. So we should definitely get on that. But now I have heard this rumor from multiple people, and I mean, it's rumor. Everything's a rumor unless you actually see it from like, say, a Disney park blog yourself, I suppose, or whoever. Some Imagineers got to say it, but they treat Disneyland as more of a it's a resident park, which is so funny to me because, again, like I had said, if you're a true lover of Disney, you want to be where Walt went, whereas Walt Disney World is kind of like the destination. So places like Haunted Mansion, that's why they don't do the overlays, and same with Space Mountain, you know what I mean? Because people come from all different types of the world, and they want to be able to ride the Haunted Mansion the way it is in November instead of the Haunted Mansion with the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay, which is amazing, but for a totally different reason. Because honestly, between you and I, I've been to Disneyland 6 times, never rode the Haunted Mansion without the overlay, and that kind of is disappointing at times to me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we could get into the whole Disneyland versus Disney World thing. I mean, that's a whole show in itself, I think, and even just the layover.
There's your this or that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, land or world. That you want to cause a heated debate.
Yeah, we don't need more thumbs downs. There you go.
Just right. Yeah, it's Cosmic Reid minus the Cosmic Reid, so it's just live.
Right.
That's it.
But what do you think about that? So Pat's talking about like chaining himself to the Tower of Terror. I mean, I can't even fathom that place not being there without Tower of Terror, exactly as it is, both now and if I'm sorry to the universe if this were to ever happen. If I had children, I would want them to be on that thing in 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, that can't go anywhere. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, hey, I got a 1-year-old. I want that to be the Tower of Terror in 10 years and 25 and 30 years from now, Yeah, Adam, Tower of Terror is a legend. Yeah, absolutely. It's the class ride. I remember seeing some of the first lineups for that, and just Hollywood Boulevard was just packed.
Oh,
Sunset Boulevard. It's packed.
Sunset Boulevard.
Like almost. Yeah, Sunset. So I'm just the whole street just flooded with people, and that would have been pre-fast. Yeah, it would have been pre-fast pass too, right? Yes. So you're waiting 2-3 hours for it in the heat.
In the heat. Oh man, I honestly think I still think that it's one of your. You know how we were talking. We mentioned just very briefly last week about kind of some of those longer attractions, like you were talking about remembering one of your first times at Walt Disney World. and waiting for Splash Mountain, and you waited that long. At least if you're waiting that long, you've got, you know, a good 15-minute attraction. Tower of Terror, wall itself, you know, what is maybe like 2.5 minutes. You know, the pre-show is cool. It's just, you know, I love all of that. And let me tell you something. That is one of the things that I sort of hate about Fast Pass a little bit. And I know that people are going to be like, oh, shut up, Jeff. But Fast, you know, like they take such great care in designing these queues, and my main example is Everest, believe it or not. You know, when you're walking through an Animal Kingdom, right, and you're walking through the queue, and it like raises that sort of anticipation. You go in the Fast Pass, you miss all of that. You know what I mean? Like, so sometimes actually the main one right now for me is Avatar. Do you know that I've never ridden Flights of Passage without Fast Pass? So I don't even know what the queue looks like.
Oh, same. I'm in the same. Yeah. Wrote it and did the Fast Pass thing. I've seen pictures of the queue and it looks awesome. So I mean, if it's ever just like a 40-minute wait, yeah, you got to go through it because they got some of the cool, like the species, the people, the blue people that are in our. I've only seen the movie once in theaters. Give me a break. So, but they're in like a tube and they're like floating around. It looks pretty cool.
Where did I just see that? Because, you know, I'm staying away from the railway ride through, but I you know, I constantly am looking at things. It was because I mean, if the thing that gets me on Disney Plus are all the Imagineer things, and they had, you know, one of those behind the Imagineers shows was talking about the animatronic inside that water, which is crazy because it's in water.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It looks awesome. It does look cool, yeah. So, hey, let us know your thoughts if you're in the chat on YouTube or, I mean, Facebook or on Twitter. We're on Instagram as well. Thank you so much for joining us, Cosmic Reid Live, on your Monday evening. I was going to say afternoon. I'm used to saying that from the old radio show days. But, yeah, I mean, we got another half hour to talk, and I want to touch a little bit, just give people a heads up. This or that this week is Bring One Back, Horizons versus Great Movie Ride. I kind of want to touch on this one now. Maybe we'll flip the next two kind of blocks around and save the Our Disney Experience stuff at home for the end. Because which one do you prefer? Which one would you want to come back, Horizons or Movie Ride? Here they come in the chat. Now we got a Great Movie Ride. We got Horizons, Great Movie Ride. This is a tough one. This is a tough one.
I haven't looked at Twitter.
A little bit of both on so Great Movie Ride on Twitter is like 67% in favor of that. In the YouTube chat, we're getting a little bit of a mix, Horizons and the Great Movie Ride. Yeah, some people say this was an easy choice, others say it was a hard choice. I think it's tough.
I'm surprised. It is. You know, what's funny? I mean, my knee-jerk reaction was Great Movie Ride, and I think this goes a little bit back to what we were talking about last week as well. And it's, you know, what kind of gives you all the feels from the first time you were there, right? And what I loved about that Great Movie Ride was that interaction that cast members had, even if there were cheesy lines and cheesy puns. But, you know, when you're kind of younger, you love that stuff anyways. But I love Hollywood. Like, I love film. So what better attraction to be in a place called Hollywood Studios? Now, I understand Mickey and Minnie, they've got a bit of a legendary Hollywood, you know, they've been in films.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Sure, they've been in films. But I mean, like, just kind of celebrating film, like, yeah, you've heard of, I mean, they've been in a few films. Which, oh man, somebody's got to do greatest short. I'm sorry, that Mickey and Minnie one before Frozen was amazing, but I digress. But you know, that gave me all the feels, and it was so exciting when they had both rooms going, and you know, you had that interaction with the gangster scene or the Western scene, and just the fact that, I mean, we were talking. Adam, I think, was the one talking about the technology behind the Tower of Terror, and Great Movie Ride was no slouch, man. They had pyro. They had freaking pyro on that thing.
Yeah. So my thoughts. I would prefer. I think I would bring back the Great Movie Ride over Horizons. That's a tough call to make, and I do have good memories on Horizons with my sister and arguing over what land we're going to go to at the end, whether land, sea, or space. I would always try the desert. She would want underwater. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, but great movie ride. Yeah, just so many animatronics in that one. It's such a huge ride. A nice break as well from the studios, just to get out of the crowds and just get in the AC for a little while. Relax your legs and just take in all of the magic of that attraction. I could talk about Great Movie Ride at length. I love it.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? See, now you're going to Great Movie Ride, and if I had to take it again, like just even you talking about what you experienced with your sister, like I remember experiencing that with so Great Movie Ride was there the second time I went. I am so old that the first time I went to Walt Disney World, it was just Epcot and Magic Kingdom. Holy moly, I'm going to hang up this phone right now. Anyway, but it was the second time for Great Movie Ride. So obviously technology stepped up a little bit, but I do have that. I remember having that fight with my mom of which we were going to pick, the underwater. And I think for its time, Horizon was pretty amazing. And it had a really cool soundtrack. Whereas like Great Movie Ride was like a hodgepodge, if you will, a cornucopia of Hollywood, if you will. There's a marketing line for you that no one will ever use. But, Horizons kind of had that like grandiose A to Z hitting all of like the Disney. But I mean, you're talking to somebody who loves Carousel of Progress, so whatever. Did you see Tom Hanks singing Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow? I saw that the other day.
Yeah, it was from 2016, but it was a nice, good reshare again. Cause it's just classic. It's just classic, and I think they're doing okay. They're back in the States, I think, from Australia. What do we got here? Yeah, so a couple of just looking at the YouTube chat here. Yeah, it seems to be a mix of Great Movie Ride. People commenting about the alien scene. Alien scene used to scare me. Yeah, it scared me too. The first like oh. Because I think we had just done like the alien extraterrestrial alien encounter like the day before. So I was like, is this another one of those things? Something's gonna like spit on you or drop slime on you. So I just was like, what is going on? And then like nothing happens, but it's just it was freaky though. It was freaky. Yeah. Yeah, lots of people commenting on that.
Didn't it drop some slime, or the slime was like on both sides of the ride vehicle? I guess it didn't drop on anybody. Okay.
Yeah, there's stuff it was like a slime that was falling, but it never touched you. I mean, it didn't touch the vehicles at all, but it was dripping. It was pretty. It was. I mean, when you were a kid, it was kind of terrifying, I guess. Yeah, with the voice staying in the vehicles. What is?
Adam goes, I only experienced the gangster scene in Great Movie Ride, sadly. And I'm trying to remember, was the gangster scene the default? So they only ran the Western scene when it was busy? I thought it was the other way around.
I think
maybe not.
I think that the Western was good when it was busy, and I only got the Western one once or maybe twice, but I was shocked. At the time, I didn't even know it was a thing. I'm like, they don't do the gangster scene anymore, and they pull us ahead. We go in the West. Oh, okay, yeah.
So
it was pretty cool. Did you get the West?
I definitely got it a couple of times because I mean, again, so that second time. I went back to Disney. I probably was in 7th or 8th grade, and I went and man, this was like I rode the big red boat. That was like before. That was before they even had Disney Cruise Lines, but it was they had partnered and they were related in some way. So we went, but it was MGM. You know what I mean? So honestly, like, what was there to do? I mean, people had said this about Hollywood Studios even probably half decade ago. What was there to do in Hollywood Studios? Imagine no Tower of Terror. Imagine no Rock and Roller Coaster. I mean, it literally was the Great Movie Ride. And then they had the behind the scenes tour, which had Catastrophe Canyon, which I loved because once again, I think if you know anything about me, I love pyro and lasers. And what else? What were the opening day? Indiana Jones, I think, was there from the get-go. But there wasn't a whole heck of a lot to do. And you talk about paying full price to get into a park. It was the main complaint about Animal Kingdom for years and years and years until recently, until Avatar even, I think. But so that place was packed, and we waited a long time to get in the Great Movie Ride. So I'm sure for the first many years they had both of those. There you go, David. Who remembers the big red boat? For many years, I'm sure they had both of those both of those rooms running. And we talked about this when I was lucky enough. Thank God I was lucky enough to do this before the world was burning down. But I was in Hong Kong, and Phantom Manor is another one of those attractions. I'm sure there's other ones, but that has the two rides. So you have to be lucky, or at least know where you're riding to get them. But it has to be really cool. Like, say if you were able to ride the Great Movie Ride, and on randomly the third time, like you were even just alluding to, it was a different experience. And those are the things I think that you remember forever.
Yeah, totally. It is. There's, it was just so good to be take like that into a whole bunch of different movies and all the different emotions you got from the Great Movie Ride as well. From being frightened to being in Oz and feeling kind of relaxed and getting emotional at some scenes. Like, just really brought out a whole bunch of different emotions. I thought that was really cool. Somebody is Super Bowl champion saying, "Warning, remain in your vehicle." That's what they said before the alien scene. I can hear that now. So thank you for
totally
that.
Yeah,
I can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No kidding.
Yeah. That Sigourney Weaver, the Sigourney Weaver animatronic was about one generation away from that Ellen DeGeneres one we were talking about last week too.
I know. I know. I think as a kid I was like, okay, and then as I got older I'm like, you're not aging well as an animatronic.
Yeah, no, man. That was probably the real reason why the Great Movie Ride was retired. But one more thing, if I can even go back to it, I will tell you, if you are like a cinephile or have like the appreciation of, man, I'm looking at this. This thing has seen better days. I don't know. It's like his neck's broken. Anyways, needs to go into repair.
You need oil?
Yeah, I need some oil. But that 2.5 minutes thing, yes, Sean Force, that Ellen animatronic was awful. The 2.5 minute kind of grand finale, and maybe it was 90 seconds that felt longer. But again, that technology where you kind of pull alongside the other one. You know what I mean? Like, that's like amazing technology for the time. You know, we're not talking Tower of Terror here, but the way both things broke off and kind of were doing their own things, and that the screen came down and you had this just love letter to cinema after the Wizard of Oz thing. I mean, that was beautiful. I mean, I'm all about storytelling, and I mean, if there's anything we all know, Disney, Walt Disney World, and those Imagineers, they are storytellers like nothing else. So that little 90-second montage was just incredible. Well, he had a few too many drinks last night.
It was
Pat, are you logged into my Nest Cam? Yes. How did you know?
Well, if you're just joining us, welcome. Cosmic Reid live on WDW News today. I'm Chris Reid with Jeff Melkars, and we are talking all things Disney. We were just talking about the Great Movie Ride versus Horizons. Which one do you prefer? If you could bring one back, which would it be? It seems to be the Great Movie Ride. That's all Twitter. You can go to @CosmicReid and vote on that. It's open till for another half hour, so we keep it open a little bit after when the show ends. But we'd like your thoughts as well on the YouTube chat. Tell your friends, share it. We'd love to have you as part of this show as well. I want to backtrack a little bit in the chat, and some people were talking, Jeff, about the Tower of Terror movie from the 90s. We were talking about Tower of Terror before that.
Oh my God.
Have you seen this? I won't be nice, but do you remember that one?
Oh man,
the tower.
I vaguely. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not sure I made it through it. It was kind of like we were talking to a friend last evening, and you go, everybody's on Disney Plus, and what are you watching to keep yourself sane other than Tiger King? But it is the Country Bear Jamboree movie. I'm sorry, man, that thing is terrible, right? So But the Tower of Terror movie, man, I thought it had some redeeming qualities. Am I in the wrong? Was Wally and I drinking too much to did we appreciate that film too much? Was it that bad? I personally. Oh, Tower of Terror movie isn't on Disney Plus. Oh, I didn't even realize that.
No,
where I saw it then.
No, it's not, and it's Steve Guttenberg goes into he's a reporter and he goes in, he hears it's hunted, but then the whole thing of like Sally Shine is the little girl, and
you're making me want to watch it again.
had fame, so she put the spell on her or something, and then they sent them not even to the Twilight Zone, just to like some other dimension. They don't mention the Twilight Zone. It's just
whatever.
Like
they probably didn't want to pay.
Yeah,
the by the way.
it's like, no, they probably didn't, and I don't blame them. Like, it was just, man, it was just too bad. Steve Guttenberg and Kirsten Dunst in that one, and man, that's
Think of
weird.
those two names. Nah, man. Well, I'm going to stand by it because I'll tell you, I cannot give the kudos that say the Haunted Mansion deserves, because that rumored Del Toro Haunted Mansion, what happened to that? Does anyone in the chat know where that thing is? Because I've been waiting for that for a decade.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been about 10 years now. I think it was like D23 2011 or something that they first teased. So yeah, like we're coming up on almost 10 years now. I was so excited about that one too, because the Eddie Murphy one, as much as I love Eddie Murphy and other stuff, it was terrible.
How was that a dud? How was that a dud? Okay, so people in the chat were saying that we were glitching. So Tower, thumbs up or thumbs down on the Tower of Terror movie, because I actually didn't even hear it.
Oh, I'm thumbs down. I think it's dumb.
Oh,
yeah, we were glitching a little bit.
I'm going to give you a thumbs down. No, stop it. Tower of Terror.
Oh, you liked it? What?
Dude, it's so. Can we not get just a slight amount of support here, Adam? Have my back here, man. That's right. Me and Adam,
what?
Dude. What is up, Adam? You and I are going to do a show on Tuesdays. Is there not such a thing of something being so bad that it's good? I think it is your responsibility between now and Monday to watch the Tower of Terror film again. That is everyone's homework assignment. What else are you guys doing this week? So bad.
Good point. Yeah. Oh, no one vaguely remember it, but only saw it once many years ago. No opinion. Yep. So far it looks okay. You'll hold me to that. What? Watching it this week?
That is correct.
I don't know. I don't want to watch it this week. We've been watching.
Oh, you're watching it this week.
Yeah, I can see what I heard.
Okay, Chris, tell everybody what you're doing to keep yourself safe.
I've been watching movies that I haven't ever seen before. What I said about a show on Tuesday. We've been watching on Disney Plus, like stuff that I guess this could kind of segue into our last segment on what we're doing to bring Disney to our homes when we don't have any parks to go to. So we're trying to do stuff like, drink out of the Nautilus with a Mickey sucky, the swirly straw, whatever. My wife found this like 10 minutes before the show and was like, "You got to use this." So here we go.
Yes. You have a beautiful wife.
It's a nice Polynesian drink called Pepsi.
Well, apparently, according to Pat, Wally and I are throwing back one too many IPAs, so that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Wally to call of it. Yeah. So yes, no. Chris is one-upping me by literally emailing me a movie every day that he is watching on Disney Plus, and I will admittedly say I have to Google like 3 of them. So like 3 out of the 7, I'm like, what?
Yeah. Man, yeah. It was. So we've been watching. So we go back and forth, my wife and I. So she picks one, then I pick one. She picks one, and we're not doing it because this. So. We'll go back tomorrow, and tomorrow's my pick, I think. So my wife, like a National Treasure 2, Newsies. But I've been picking Blackbeard's Ghost, the Apple Dumpling Gang, the Computer Wore Tennis Shoes. I'm going to be seeing that one. Blackbeard's Ghost. Have you seen that?
Let me tell you something. Are you going to tell me that that's bad too?
No, it was hilarious.
Okay, we're back. Now we're back. Okay, we're fine.
So I mean, he's in purgatory or something, and he has to do something good. So he helps the track team, and with that scene where he's like making them go fast and like throwing the hurdle, the people hide and jump in the vault. I'm just like, what the? This is so weird that it's good. Who said Mr. Toad?
Now you understand. Yeah, somebody. Abby just said Mr. Toad. Mr. Toad's a good.
Abby, Mr. Toad. Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Toad. Yeah.
Watch that one. Yeah, Mr. Toad's fantastic. And so back to Disneyland, Mr. Toad being at Disneyland, I mean, that's something you can't get in. I mean, that's just a must ride all the time. So yeah,
I think
so
that is the only one.
I love what you're doing with the Disney Plus, and I actually just so Michael had mentioned the Imagineering story on Disney Plus, and honestly, the Imagineering story is amazing, and I'm going to tell you that April 3rd, because I'm a nerd and I love nature. The new Disney Nature movie comes out for, you know how they always would put them out in theaters, and now unfortunately we're not going to be able to go to theaters to enjoy them. But the new Elephant movie is coming out, so Disney Plus is, I think, maybe saving lives during all of this. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah. The Disney Nature are awesome. I think they're, it's a nice kind of escape as well. And some of the footage those camera people get are it's just like phenomenal. I want to give a shout out to Stan quickly in the chat here. Stan is up here in Winnipeg, so thank you for tuning in.
Nice.
So Blackbeard's Ghost, Apple Dumpling Gang. It was funny. I wouldn't see it again. I don't know if I'll watch that, but if anyone in the checks for Disney Plus movies to watch, definitely let us know. I would love to get some more recommendations, but like not like Lion King and Aladdin. Like want to see like new stuff. Right, so Apple Dumpling Gang. Adam said he's seen that one as well. Season 2 of Imagineering Story. Yeah, no kidding. Me too. That would be. I hope they come back for that.
They have to come back for that. That's just a license to print money. I mean, what kid, like after going to Walt Disney World, like what kid does not want to? Oh, what kid? Forget that. What adult doesn't want to become an Imagineer? Oh my God, that is like strive for greatness there. But yeah, no, I love what you're doing. So there's all these animated films, and I'm even talking just theatrical. Has everyone seen every theatrical film? Because there's just a few that have kind of slipped between the cracks, like those late 70s, early 80s, like Return to Atlantis. I don't remember that. Like I feel like I need to go watch that again. Do I even have the title correct? I don't even know.
Yeah.
What is this? Yeah.
I'm not sure. There are some bizarre ones out there. Treasure Planet. Who said Treasure?
Treasure Planet.
Abby said Treasure Planet. Yeah. So I've seen it, but not for a long time. So I will watch that one again. Okay, I did like that one.
What has your wife picked?
What has my wife picked? So she has picked National Treasure 2.
Oh my God!
I mentioned Newsies.
That doesn't count.
Newsies was another one.
Oh, Newsies is fantastic. Newsies is great.
Newsies, like the original Newsies,
right.
with Batman, yeah.
You should have you seen the musical? You must have, because I know you like theater.
I haven't seen it yet. It hasn't toured around here. No, we don't get as many of those anymore because of a contract kind of dispute thing. It sucks, but whatever. One of the concert venues switched ticket providers, and they only the touring company only deals with one specific brand, and because they switched, they're not coming to the city anymore at that venue. So they could still come, but yeah, it sucks. It sucks, especially if you're a fan that wants to. We used to see all these really amazing musicals come through. Mary Poppins came through, Little Mermaid came through, Beauty and the Beast came through, all these big name Disney ones came through, which is awesome to see. Newsies the musical, I would love to see. I'm guessing you've seen it? On stage?
Yeah, no, I love. I was actually lucky enough to see it in New York, and then it came through Atlanta probably like 3 or 4 years ago. Nice. I mean, you talk about the things that are hurting right here. I had told you 2 weeks ago that we were supposed to go see Miss. I mean, they just canceled the tour. Like they're not even talking about like some of these smaller things, like you mentioned, Little Mermaid. Frozen is going to be fine, but these smaller kind of shows that come and only stay in your theaters for like a week. I mean, all of those actors, actresses, and musicians are just, out of it because they're just canceling shows because they don't know how long this is going to go. So, I mean, support your local theaters, support all that. Actually, I'm on the board of directors for a local theater in Atlanta. Not trying to be a hashtag humble brag or anything, but we did Freaky Friday. So it was actually like licensed by Disney. And we were the first local theater company that did Freaky Friday 2 summers ago, and it was a huge cast. And it was, see, my name is Stitch. I'm supposed to see Newsies in May, but it's been canceled. So My Name is Stitch. Are they postponing it, or do you think? Oh, look, and Abby, this is actually what I was going to suggest, Chris, because Abby even just said Newsies, the musical is on Disney Plus. There you go. There's your pick, bro.
Oh, like so the stage version of it is on Disney Plus. Is that what we're talking? Because I've seen the one with. Okay, hey, well maybe I'll add that to the list. I didn't know that. That's awesome. Because I love to see that. I'm also on the board of director for a theater company. We did Beauty and the Beast in 2018, and it was like the best I've ever seen Beauty and the Beast done. It was fantastic. It was so
that
good.
Is fantastic. I mean, the little theaters that could. It's filmed so good. Oh, see now, Abby, I have not even seen that, so I will definitely watch that this week, and we'll report back to you. And it's funny. I actually I have a friend who live directed something actually for Disney, one of their compilation shows from Los Angeles. So they do have quite a bit of live kind of concert programming. I mean, that's one of my things. That's what all of my money goes to. It's just live entertainment. I just love it because I feel like, and I know you're a theater guy, but if you haven't experienced theater, guys, go see something that you love from Disney on theater, because to me, it is the art form. I mean, there are no second takes, guys. You know what I mean? So when an actress screws up or laughs, that is real, and that is awesome, and it is emotional. It's not like a movie where The Rock gets to do 87 takes of this one scene in Jungle Cruise, which I bet is going to be amazing. Don't get me wrong, but but that live theater element. Oh, you're not happy about Jungle Cruise?
Yeah, it's
that's
like live radio and live YouTube. So you got to tap dance.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh yeah, see the glitch.
Yeah, I don't know.
The glitching, guys. It's like we're in Wreck-It Ralph right now.
I've watched it more than once. I don't know, man. Are we? Is it I think so. It's If we're lagging a bit, I don't know. It's we had a weirdness at the start of the show. We had our last show. That's just going to be our running gag. Is we're just going to start the show up at Wood, and just going to like something's going to blow up right off the hop. Let's go back to the radio thing. It was easier.
Yeah, I know. The point of all, well, I mean, it is probably taking a lot of bandwidth. The point of all of this, guys, in the chat room, and I love you, Chris, for taking me away from the insanity 1 hour a week, and we hope that we can do that for you guys just a little bit, even though we're glitching and we're all over the place, and Chris is drinking out of his delightful. I still don't understand how he got that through customs. There he goes. Forget the straw, buddy. But we love that we can kind of just share, the things that we love, and obviously, like even in the chat, if you can't see our dumb faces, it's good to just know that there are other people out there looking forward to it, and I'm sure Drew is looking forward to his girlfriend going back to work, and hopefully that's on June 1st.
Yeah, I know. I would hope that. That would be nice if that happens. Fingers crossed that it doesn't get any later. But I guess we'll see. Time will tell. And so in these times, we talked about stuff we have at home and what we do at home. We've been talking mostly about Disney Plus, and I kind of like the way this has gone. Getting ideas. That Newsies is on there. As somebody recommended, Treasure Planet, Hercules. Somebody asked what Hercules I think is on it now. If not, then my wife was watching a DVD or something the other day. But yeah, I think it is on there. And I mean, all the Star Wars ones are on there. Episode 9's coming, I'm assuming probably like really soon, because they've already done Frozen really 2. And as of tomorrow, it's
is
on.
Onward there yet?
No, they've. April 3rd for
Onward, I
Onward,
think,
if
is
you want
April
to
3rd,
if you want
yes.
to see that.
Yeah.
Mhm. But the digital download of it is already available if you want to purchase it, and I have seen it, and I will say I enjoyed it. I like most picks. Onward I thought was great. Emotional, like they usually try to get you. I think they could have got you a little bit more emotional. The one thing that kind of happens, and when you see it, you'll know what I mean. But the characters were great, beautifully animated. It just kind of sucks you into that world of Pixar. And the one thing that I always pay attention for is that A113 reference in every single Pixar movie, right? It's in there. But yeah, that's all. You gotta pay attention. That's all I'm gonna say, because we were like glued to the backrats and the animation and license plates and pens and papers and notepads and everything. So it is in there. We caught it. We're like, oh, we caught it. We saw it. We're good.
Did you really? That is, man. And you didn't know going in where it was?
No, not in that. Not in Onward. No, we had no idea.
Okay.
So
that's awesome. That's totally awesome.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. If you're in the chat, you want to watch something, April 3rd on Disney Plus.
I was so taken off guard again by all of this, because crazily, just 3 weeks ago, I'm in Spain. Well, it was a little bit over 3 weeks ago now, thank God. But by the time I got back, everything was shutting down. So, I mean, I love seeing Disney movies or big movies like that in like a Dolby Cinema, just really like blowing my eardrums out. And I'm so disappointed because now that window.
Did we just lose each other again? Hang on a minute. Did we just lose each other again? Did we lose me again? Did we lose Jeff? Did this happen again? I think we might have lost Jeff. I'm thinking we lost Jeff. I'm thinking we froze. I think we lost each other here. Okay, you people can hear me, but not Jeff. Okay, I'm not sure if we're on frozen or not. Jeff froze, like getting it. We're like 3 minutes from ending this one, so time has stopped. Yeah, apparently. Okay. Thumbs up if you can hear me in the chat. This always happens. This happened last time, so we're going to try to work on something for next week to make this not happen. But thank you for sticking with us this hour. Jeff is somewhere out in cyberspace, so I will say thank you on his. Yeah, people are saying they can hear me. Okay, and you might be able to. I'm not if I'm moving or not. Didn't look like I. So hey, am I back? Jeff is saying, "Am I back?" Not for me. You're still frozen on my end. With that being said, we're 2 minutes from the end. We're just we'll stop it here. Thank you for joining us. It's all of this. It's all the bandwidth. There's something like that. We'll try to work on something. Adam, I think Jeff was just kidding about that. Just because he was upset that I didn't like a movie, and now I forget what it was. Oh, the Tower of Terror movie. Yeah. Jeff, you're still frozen. Oh, hey. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, if you like WDW News Today, if you like the content we are giving you, please, you can donate to our Patreon, WDWNT.com. Get all the information on that. Also, we're broadcasting all week, 11 till 2 tomorrow. Check us out. You're going to be crafting with Colleen. That's tomorrow morning. They're going to be making mouse ears. It's going to be a great time. You can also always donate in the Super Chat as well, which we always welcome. I will be back with Jeff. Hopefully we won't be in this frozen state, but you never know with the crazy way this is going. So thank you so much for joining us. Cosmic Reid Live back next Monday on the radio on WDWNT this Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. So we on Jeff Melkar's big shout out to getting us going here. Thank you all in the chat. We appreciate you. Jeff saying I need more bandwidth. Don't we all? Thanks so much. Have a great night.